As a class, we collectively learned how to use a new 360-degree camera and create personal presentations via multimedia to prepare for our San Bernardino Nuestro. We had to step out of our comfort zone to learn more about those around us by conducting interviews and gaining professional experience. We've learned a lot during our journey, including the hardships and accomplishments of our fellow Coyotes.
I'm Professor Liliana Conles Gallegos in the Department of Communication Studies, and I am teaching Comm 365, experimental multimedia production, and miscellaneous. Well, I've always been very experimentally, and I like to try out new things, and I really do believe that students hold the key to the future of education, because the way we educate should be like language. Language changes with the times, and so education should do the same, because anything that's stagnant, it's basically dead. And we invite the youngest to give us their feedback, and then from there we go forward. Oh, I would say my teaching style takes a lot from epistemologies of the South, indigenous approximation teaching, Chicana, borderlands, methodologies. I come from the border, and my personality, who I am, is basically a question mark. I've never really felt like I'm part of anything, and I'm everything, so I'm part of everything. So most of the way that I teach comes from my rebellious nature in general, like just kind of like never accepting things as they were. So I guess I tackle education and my job in the same way. I just can't accept that the limitations of my teaching experience are those. And so I try to look outside the box, and then also want to incite students to think differently and to become producers and makers and not just consumers and followers. Well, you know how they say, haters gonna hate, right? I mean, of course, like not everybody's gonna like this style, especially if they have excelled so much in the, what they call traditional style of educating, what I would call the Eurocentric, Western European, supremacist notion of knowledge. I've even had experiences like of hate, for expressing my opinions or my points of view or perspectives. And I do have a right to do that, as I do say disclaimer, and I think this. And so, yeah, I've had students like bunch up and say that they're going to get me fired. I've had that happen to me. And of course, I've had the university offer me a cop to come in my class. So, yeah, it could get pretty serious with some people. Nothing, not just kidding. I hate it. No, truth be told, I love this class. I mean, what is there not to love? Like working with like ATI, with James, with EJ, and Dora. Why would I not be happy, working with them? And you guys are great, and like I said, you guys make the class. And I told you that from the beginning. I said, this class is going to become what you guys want it to be. I'm giving you an opportunity to create your own course, and that a lot of you also come from a past of turmoil, or a past of where you felt like you didn't have complete control over your education or your future. And I know that kind of makes a lot of students jaded from the get-go. Like even before they come to classroom, they're already expecting the class to suck or to be the same as all the other classes. And the number one thing that I like the most is that not only am I trying to teach you guys this, but I'm also gaining this for myself as a professor, and that is purpose. I just want to thank everybody, that's been involved in the classroom, from the students to Richard Contreras, Luis Esparza, our TA, Francisco Rodriguez, our PR manager, and, James Trotter, Dora, EJ, and also Mihaela Popescu, because she reached out to me, and if it weren't for her, we wouldn't even be sitting here right now. Thank you.
I'm putting you on the spot, is what I'm doing here. Hi, my name's James Trotter. I am the information technology consultant for the Department of Academic Technology and Innovation, ATI, here at Cal State San Bernardino. For the Comm 365 class, because it's experimental media, we tried to use a lot of different new things. And that's the fun part about an experimental media class, is you can do just that. So what we did is we started out with the Insta360 It's a 360-degree video camera that actually attaches to your cell phone, an iPhone. And it allows you to do two things. One, be able to use your phone and see the 360 video right there on the screen. But it also allows you to do it independently of the phone. You can attach it to a tripod, run it, use it through Bluetooth, and operate it remotely. And you can still see the video that you're working with. My role is for the university as an instructional technologist is to work with faculty and find different technologies that are emerging that will work with the faculty and help ensure student success. So that was my main role, is supporting the professor, making sure that her and the students had the technology, it was working most of the time, and that I can provide any type of support that she needs so that herself and the students are successful in this class. During this class, there were a lot of technical difficulties. The thing with using 360 video, it was brand new to me also. I've only been using it for a short period of time. And the really kind of the neat thing with the students using it in mass is that what would take me a while to figure out some of the pitfalls and challenges with the technology, the students were discovering every day, every time they were using it. And it was great for me to say, okay, this is something we had not seen or been able to test ahead of time. So what was the real key for this program was student-driven testing of technology. The issues that we had were formatting the SD cards. We had 2 or 3 SD cards that were for the Insta1 camera died. Okay. How do we work around that? The students figured that out. Every time there was a different challenge or technical issue we had to be innovative, think through the problem, and it wasn't myself, it was with the students. How do we solve it? But by having this collective group understanding it, we tried a lot of different ideas, a lot of different approaches, a lot of different solutions for problems, and at the end of the semester, or at the end of the quarter, we have a really good idea of what works, what doesn't, and then moving forward for future courses, we've solved a lot of the problems together as a team. In the course Comm 365, when the professor came to me and asked the question about doing this course using the 360 video and other technologies, there's another component that went into this, and it's with our student assistant Dora. She's currently taking her master's degree in instructional technology, and to bring her on to help out as an intern. So not only was this a course for the students to learn experimental media, but it was also an opportunity for her to use this technology and see the pedagogy involved in this course to apply to her own master's degree program that she's going through. So you had many levels of learning. You had the students learning, myself learning, the professor learning, and Dora. And also, for my student assistants, I had 2. I have EJ and Corey. EJ was part of this program also. And one of the things from as an instructional technology consultant with this university, has always been important for me to make sure my student assistants learn from the experiences they're gaining. And this course gave EJ a great opportunity to learn new technologies, how to work with the faculty, how to work with other students, and troubleshoot a lot of different technologies. So the fun part about it, again, was you have multiple layers of learning with across many different lines, and I think that everything at the end, we had a very successful course. I love this class. This class is you guys are cool. And I will say on my personal side, I had a lot of fun helping support this class because the professor and also the students, all of you guys are really a great fun class to work with. And it was an honor for me to be with y'all.
My name is Andy Guzman. This is my 4th year at California State, San Bernardino. I'm pursuing a degree in American Studies.
My name is Frida Penaloza. I'm a Comm major, Human and Org Concentration, and I will be graduating fall 2018.
My name is Vanessa Vasilia. I am a communications major with a minor in marketing.
In the terms of experimental, it's referring to something that has not been done before. Typical approach to education and learning is standardized textbooks, lecture, and professor. We are trained to memorize and ameliorate and regurgitate. And for that reason, I have to say I really don't like the traditional. Not at all. I'm not a traditional person. That's why I enrolled into this communications course, because I knew that it was going to be a multimedia conglomeration. And what that is various modes of communication. We didn't really have a lot of practice or a lot of prior knowledge to this information or these skills. I finally learned how to do video editing, and I learned what journalism really was and how to do it. And the best part was that it wasn't a lecture. I had to really become involved with my education. And I think that's the experiment itself, is just becoming engaged with your learning. I really enjoyed the class. Definitely not. The course is experimental. I was really kind of wearied because I wasn't sure what that meant. My biggest obstacle was having to deal with people. And, it's something that I don't have a lot of practice with. That's the challenge that I've always had. How do I communicate with these different people? Everyone's from different places. People know different things. Get personal with people. And that was really essential in the class, because we vitalized our narratives to communicate with one another. Because at the end of the day, we all shared a story. That was just by far the coolest aspect of the class. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it because I definitely persevered with my peers.
It has been a change because I learned about the stories of the students in the class. I think I became more of an understanding person because you hear what everybody goes through and how they still move forward with their lives. The class did help me because I'm also a communication major, and we do have to do a lot of group activities at any job, a little bit of PR, do group work, and create our own events. I would recommend it. It's more of a hands-on. It can actually probably count more as a practicum. It's not like a set class where you have a schedule and you have to follow that schedule. It's very helpful.
I think I appreciate her teaching style a little bit more than the traditional way, because it gives you a chance to kind of think for yourself, whereas a traditional way, you're more focused on trying to get that correct answer. I've been in classes where I've just had to follow the book. You're doing whatever is going to get you that grade. You're not actually learning anything. I think I would describe this course as unique because it's very different from any other course I've ever been in. When I first got to this course, I was very uncomfortable because I didn't know what I was getting into. It was an experimental course, so we weren't 100% sure on what was going to happen or what we were doing. Once we kind of got into it and she kind of let us do our own thing and take our own course, you become more comfortable and you become more open and willing to do more, willing to speak about your personal experiences, as well as keep an open mind to other people's experiences. I think I do feel more connected because I'm able to have a different perspective. I'm not just thinking about what I've been through, I'm also thinking about what other people have gone through. It reminds me to keep an open mind about what's going on around you, basically.